Secure Channel Target app in SharePoint Online. This section in Module 2.3, Hybrid Environment Infrastructure, provides an overview of configuring a reverse proxy device. SharePoint Server 2013 and SharePoint Online can be configured in a hybrid configuration to securely combine search results and external data from Microsoft Business Connectivity Services and Duet Enterprise. Reverse proxy devices play a role in the secure configuration of a hybrid SharePoint 2013 deployment when inbound traffic from SharePoint Online needs to be relayed to your on-premises SharePoint 2013 farm. For example, if a federated user uses a SharePoint Online search portal that is configured to return hybrid search results, a reverse proxy device intercepts and pre-authenticates the request for on-premises SharePoint 2013 content, and then relays it to SharePoint 2013. The reverse proxy device in a hybrid topology provides a secure endpoint for inbound traffic using SSL encryption and client certificate authentication. In a hybrid SharePoint 2013 scenario, the reverse proxy must be able to support client authentication with a wildcard or SAN SSL certificate, support pass-through authentication for OAuth 2.0, including unlimited OAuth bearer token transactions, and accept unsolicited inbound traffic on TCP port 443. No ports other than TCP 443 need to be opened on the external reverse proxy endpoint to support hybrid connectivity. Hybrid SharePoint environments support a number of reverse proxy devices. The basic steps include configuring ADFS, importing an SSL certificate, and configuring the published application. This section, in Module 2.3, Hybrid Environment Infrastructure, provides an overview of configuring server-to-server trust. There are 7 basic steps to configuring server-to-server trust. To service incoming server-to-server requests from another SharePoint 2013 farm, you must configure the SharePoint 2013 farm to trust the sending farm. Use the Windows PowerShell commandlet new SP Trusted Security Token Issuer in SharePoint 2013 to configure the trust relationship by specifying the JavaScript object notation metadata endpoint of the sending farm. You can also configure an STS for HTTP. However, the recommended best practice for server-to-server authentication is to use SSL and an HTTPS-based URL to send and receive requests. Also, the recommended best practice for server-to-server authentication is that each server-to-server authentication application that establishes trust with a SharePoint farm must use a different certificate. In a cross-farm SharePoint topology, if you have to use the same certificate across farms, you have to also set the identifier of the SharePoint Security Token Service to be the same across those farms. When SharePoint 2013 is installed, the Security Token Service of the on-premises SharePoint farm creates a default certificate to validate incoming tokens. You must replace the default STS certificate on each farm server with either a certificate issued by a public certification authority that is trusted by Windows Azure Active Directory or with a self-signed certificate. We recommend using a certificate issued by a public certification authority for production environments to ensure maximum security and because self-signed certificates might have integration issues with other applications and services. Self-signed certificates are best for test and/or pilot deployments. Each domain that you want to federate must either be added as a single sign-on domain or converted to be a single sign-on domain from a standard domain. Adding or converting a domain sets up a trust between ADFS and Windows Azure Active Directory. If you are using a subdomain, such as corp.contoso.com, in addition to a top-level domain, such as contoso.com, you must add the top-level domain in your cloud service before you add